Hi guys, it's Emily from Jones Design Company. A few weeks ago I did a video coffee chat, something where we talk about some random things that if we were sitting down face to face having coffee together, these might be some of the topics that we talk about. Well, it seems like you liked the video chat format, and so I just thought I would do it again. Maybe I'll try like every other week or so. We'll see how it goes. But so I thought I'd do it again today. Today I'm drinking a coffee that my husband brought me early this morning. It is now 1:30 in the afternoon, and I've reheated this approximately 4 times in the microwave. I'm not sure how stable milk is after you've reheated it several times throughout the day. I don't really know if it's still good for you, but I've just been sipping it slowly, and I like my coffee really, really hot. So I just reheated a million times. I don't know. Let me know if it's bad for me. Maybe I should stop doing that. Okay, a couple of things to talk about today. The first one is I listened to a podcast yesterday. It's the Jamie Ivey Happy Hour podcast, my favorite podcast for sure, and I love Jamie. But this one was with an author, Sally Lloyd Jones. Sally Lloyd Jones. You might know her. She wrote this book called The Jesus Storybook Bible. I don't know if I have ever blogged about this book, but if you have kids or grandkids, or actually you don't even need to have kids, this is a must-have in your household. It is so beautifully written. The illustrations are great, but it just weaves all of the stories of the Bible in the ways that Jesus is part of that, and how the whole story is really just about the redemptive work of Jesus. But love this book, and definitely it's a must-have. But also that interview with Sally Lloyd Jones was... her voice, she's from England, and so her voice is just this darling British accent. So that was really enjoyable to listen to, but just she's so wise in what she was saying about being excellent in what you do, and the ways that she has used what she wanted to do as a little girl, and how it's kind of grown into that. Now she's an author and kind of an actress a little bit. Anyway, if you need a podcast to listen to, check out Jamie Ivey Happy Hour, and then particularly that Sally Lloyd Jones one. It was so good. She did say in there that there's an audiobook version of this, and we are going on a big family road trip coming up pretty soon. And I'm looking for things that we can listen to as a family, and so I think I'm going to get that audiobook because I think it might be kind of a fun one to put on intermittently and listen to some Bible stories with the kids. But if you have any great family podcasts, so I have a 12-year-old boy all the way down to a 6-year-old girl. Actually, she turns 6 tomorrow. When you're watching this, it will be tomorrow, so she'll be 6 that day, which is crazy. Anyway, my age span is 12-year-old boy to 6-year-old girl, so I'm trying to find some content, some audiobooks or podcasts that would be interesting for that whole age group. So if you have any recommendations, let me know. I would love to know. Speaking of my kids and what they like to do, we aren't really stuck inside because in the Pacific Northwest it's not real snowy right now. But if you are stuck inside and you're looking for something to do with your family, my kids have been super into Monopoly Deal lately. It's just a card game. So I grew up playing Monopoly with my cousins and my sisters. We would play for hours at my grandparents' house. And now that I'm a mom, I think maybe one of the last things I want to do is play Monopoly for several hours with my kids. So this, they can play, which is great. They do that. But this one is a great alternative because it's a really quick version of Monopoly. It's a little tricky until you start playing, and then you kind of get it. But anyway, Monopoly Deal, it's just a cheap little card game I think you can get at Target or get it online. Actually, I'll put a link to it. But a fun little time killer. They play for hours, actually, for a long time. So, Monopoly Deal. Next thing, let's see. I posted a picture on Instagram, and it had some of this gorgeous velvet ribbon in it. This kind of chartreuse green color that I use, and then I just bought this big roll of kind of dusty pink. It's beautiful. It's I really love ribbon, and I am so picky about not wanting to use it for special thing or until it's like a special thing. But my source for this is called Ribbon Connections, And I think you have to have a wholesale account and then meet a minimum. Like you might have to order $100 worth of ribbons. So if you don't have a business license, but you have a friend or someone who does have a resale license, you could even, I've done this before where I didn't necessarily need $100 worth of ribbon, but my mom needed some or my best friend needed some. And so we just ordered a bunch. But Ribbon Connections, they have this beautiful velvet that I really love. And then I also get my grosgrain ribbon. It's cute. It has like a little scalloped edge. So I really love that from that source as well. Okay, this week I launched my new class called Simplified Penmanship. I'm sure, or hopefully you've heard about it or seen some information about it. It's been so great and feedback has been wonderful and I'm really excited about it. And in fact, I was listening to that podcast with Sally and one of the things that really struck me is thinking about what I wanted to do when I was a little girl. What were my dreams that I wanted to be when I grew up? And I've kind of joked that a couple of that I wanted to be a teacher and an artist. I wanted to be a window dresser. So like at Nordstrom where the window displays, I always thought like styling those would be fun. And I wanted to be a morning talk show host. So like Kathy Lee Gifford back in the day. And so I think it was fun to listen to her and the ways that her dreams as a child have, that God kind of whispered that to her when she was even a little girl and how she's been able to realize that. And some of it has just been stepping out and taking the risk to follow those dreams. Some of it has just kind of happened as life has progressed. Anyway, it got me thinking that I feel so grateful that I get to teach and be an artist and be maybe not a talk show host, but I get to sit here and chit chat with you and do a little bit of styling. So it's kind of crazy how my childhood, the things that I wanted to do and the skills that I really enjoyed, I've been able to carry on with me. So I love teaching these online classes. I teach a graphic design one and then now this penmanship one, and I have another one that I'll be hopefully getting out pretty soon, but I love doing it. Thank you for all of you who have believed in me and taken the class, and I hope that you love it. I've had a handful of questions from left-handed writers. So I write with my right hand, and so all of the videos obviously are taught with the right-handed, and I know a lot of calligraphy techniques, you need to have a special pen that has the right angle on it for left-handed. This penmanship class is not just right-handed specific. The tools that I suggest and the techniques really can be applied to either left or right hands. I actually, out of my 4 kids, 2 of them are left-handed, which I think is kind of strange and weird, but so just in watching them how they write, I know sometimes a left-handed writer will compensate by like really twisting their wrist to kind of circle around their letters. So that might be a skill that you need to kind of alter a little bit in order to get really great penmanship, or you can just kind of figure out how your hands work for you. And then the other issue is that when you're writing, the kind of pad of your hand will smear against your paper. So there's some other like techniques that you can compensate for that by writing up on top of your paper instead of really pushing your hand along there. So anyway, all to say, if you are left-handed and you've been kind of nervous about taking this class thinking it's not going to apply to you, it actually will. It will be just fine. So left-handed, right-handed, I'd love to have you in the class. All right, one last thing. Last weekend, Ryan and I we drove about 4.5 hours over to Eastern Washington to a city called Spokane, met my best friend and her husband who flew in from Texas, and we drove around for the weekend. They're thinking about maybe relocating there, and so we spent the weekend in Spokane. This is not a city that I have spent a whole lot of time in, but we went to this little restaurant called Madeline's in downtown Spokane and had them. We went on Saturday morning and then again on Sunday morning because we loved it so much. But if you are in the Spokane or Coeur d'Alene, Idaho area, Madeline's is amazing. But anyway, we were there kind of visiting, driving around, looking at some properties, looking at the area, because this is a brilliant idea. My girlfriend, my best friend, she and her husband, they're thinking about moving there. They've been to Spokane in the spring and the summer, which is gorgeous and beautiful. Washington State, just in general, in the summer is the most ideal place. It's green and there's water and the weather is perfect. It's not too humid. But in the winter, it is dreary and dark and drizzly and the trees don't have leaves and it's ugly. So Casey, because she is brilliant, she said, I think we should come visit Spokane in the winter when it's at its ugliest, and if we like it at its ugliest, then maybe we'll like it then we'll surely like it at its most beautiful. So I don't know, it's kind of a deep thought, but it's like when you are getting married to someone and you kind of need, you need your husband to see you without makeup to make sure that at your ugliest, he will also love you, not just when you're at your best. I don't know, maybe it's a deep thought for the day, but this weekend we don't have as exciting of plans. Actually, it's Audrey's birthday party, so we're gonna have a little princess tea party, so that will be fun. But I hope you have a great weekend. I hope it's relaxing and enjoyable, and thank you so much for watching. Thanks for reading the blog, and let me know if you have any questions that you would like to chat about during coffee chat. All right, I'll see you later.